Survey designs created by Kacey Glaze. Surveys are defined as the procedures in quantitative research that involve the collection of information from a sample of individuals through their responses to questions. Data is collected in a standardized form. This is usually, but not necessarily, done by means of a questionnaire or interview. When to use it. Survey research design is a valuable tool for describing trends. It can determine individual opinions about policy issues. It can help to identify important beliefs and attitudes of individuals, and it can also be used as an evaluation tool. How it developed. Early surveys date back to 1817. The modern survey emerged during the period from World War I to World War II. Mid-century efforts were underway to establish standardized questions through surveys. Scales, such as the Likert scales, were developed and guidelines were written for writing questions, and then surveys in education became popular by mid-century. Types of survey designs. There are only two basic types of research surveys. This includes cross-sectional designs and longitudinal designs. Survey researchers use cross-sectional designs to collect data about current attitudes, opinions, or beliefs. Longitudinal designs are used to study individuals over time. So we'll quickly look at each of those. The cross-sectional survey design is the most popular form used in education. Again, data is collected at one point in time. Cross-sectional designs include several types: examine current attitudes and practices, show group comparisons, measure community needs, national assessment, or to examine a program. The benefit of using cross-sectional designs is that it allows researchers to compare many different variables at the same time. However, they may not provide a definite information about cause and effect relationships, and this is because they only show a snapshot of a single moment in time. Longitudinal survey designs are when researchers conduct several observations of the same subject over a period of time. Types of these designs include trend, cohort, and panel. Key characteristics of survey design include sampling from a population, collecting data through questionnaires or interviews. Some popular ones used in education would be mailed questionnaires, web-based questionnaires, one-on-one interviews, focus group interviews, and also telephone interviews. Then, designing instruments for data collection is another key characteristic, and obtaining a high response rate. Ethical issues. Most survey research poses few ethical problems because participants are able to decline to participate. Attention must be given when questionnaires are administered in group settings and when sensitive personal questions are to be asked. Subject confidentiality should always be preserved. All right, we'll go through the steps in conducting survey research. Step 1 is deciding if survey is the best design to use. They're most suitable to assess trends or characteristics of a population. Their advantages include they can be administered in a short amount of time, they're an economical means of data collection, and they can reach a geographically dispersed population. Step 2 is identifying the research questions or hypothesis. Surveys lend themselves to hypothesis testing because you will be studying a sample to draw inferences to a population. So you will describe characteristics or trends of a population, compare groups, or relate two or more variables. Step 3 is identifying the population, the sampling frame, and the sample. So after you've defined the population and determined the number of people in it and assessed whether or not you can obtain a list of names from the sample, then you will actually select the sample. Step 4 is determining the survey design and data collection procedures. You will need to determine if the survey study will be cross-sectional or longitudinal, and consider whether data collection will be based on questionnaires or interviews. Step 5 is develop or locate the instrument. You will need an instrument to collect or measure the variables in your study. It is easier to locate an instrument than it is to develop one. However, you can design your own if the study addresses only a few variables. Step 6 is administer the instrument. This is the most time-consuming phase. It involves seeking and obtaining permission to conduct the survey and using procedures for data gathering. It also requires continually following up to obtain a high response rate. Step 7 is analyze the data. Data analyst procedures will reflect the type of research questions or hypotheses the researcher plans to address in the study. And the last step is to write the report. This involves writing the survey study using a standard quantitative structure, which includes the introduction, review of literature, methods, results, and discussion. And finally, we'll look at the evaluation of the quality. Survey studies need to meet high standards of quality. A use of good practice methodologies will improve the quality of results.